What's the role of temperature in top P? Before we get into the details, here's the simple idea behind this topic. Temperature controls how predictable or creative a model becomes, and top P decides which words the model is even allowed to choose from. In other words, temperature governs boldness, and top P defines the safe zone. A strong interview answer is saying they are sampling controls that let you shape the model style, from very stable to very imaginative. The key takeaway is this. Temperature guides how far the model is willing to stretch, and top P trims the options so it stays grounded. Interviewers may ask why these settings matter, and you can explain that precise tasks like coding need stability, while creative tasks benefit from flexibility. Don't worry if this feels new. Once you try a few examples, the behavior becomes very predictable. Understanding temperature. Now let's look closely at temperature. Think of it as a confidence level for choosing the next word. At 0, the model becomes extremely predictable and always takes the safest path, which is good for accuracy, but often sounds stiff. Around point 7, you get a comfortable balance that feels natural, which is why this range is common in production. When you raise temperature, the model becomes more willing to explore, which is great for brainstorming, but risky for factual tasks. A simple way to remember this is to imagine adjusting seasoning in cooking. Too little feels dull, the right amount feels balanced, and too much overwhelms the entire dish. Interviewers may ask when each range is useful. You can say low temperature for translations or coding, medium for chat responses, and high when generating ideas. The takeaway is that temperature controls the model's confidence, and once you understand that, its behavior makes complete sense. Top P sampling explained. Now that temperature is clear, let's move to top P. Instead of shaping boldness, top P filters the option list. It keeps only the most meaningful words that together form a chosen probability mass, like 0.9. Lower values make the model stay tightly focused. Higher values give it space to explore without drifting too far. This approach is also known as Nucleus sampling because it selects from the core set of strong candidates. In interviews, a strong explanation is that top P limits the model's menu, so responses stay coherent even when you want variation. You might be asked when to use top P instead of temperature. A helpful way to put it is this. Temperature reshapes the curve, and top P trims the choices. The takeaway is simple. Temperature changes the model's mood, and top P changes its boundaries. Real-world ML pipeline. Now let's place both ideas into the actual generation pipeline. When a user sends a prompt, the model first predicts probabilities for all possible next words. Temperature reshapes those probabilities by making them sharper or softer, almost like adjusting a camera lens. Top P then filters out words that don't meaningfully contribute. From that trimmed list, the model picks one word, adds it to the context, and repeats the cycle until the full response is complete. Explaining this sequence in interviews shows you understand both the what and the why behind sampling. A real example is customer support chat. Temperature helps maintain a calm and steady tone, while top P prevents the model from drifting into irrelevant or unusual replies. The takeaway is this. Generation is a loop of probability shaping and controlled selection. And once you see that structure, the whole workflow becomes intuitive. Common follow-up questions. Interviewers often explore whether you can apply these settings in real scenarios. They may ask when low temperature is useful, and the clearest answer is for tasks that require accuracy and consistency. For higher temperature, you can explain it's useful when exploring creative or open-ended ideas. They may ask why teams combine temperature and top P, and you can say temperature guides boldness, while top P filters the choices into a stable set. Sometimes they bring up beam search, and a strong explanation is that beam search is deterministic, while temperature and top P introduce controlled randomness. A practical production setup is temperature between 0.7 and 0.9, with top P near 0.9. The takeaway is simple. Once you understand how each setting behaves, tuning them becomes a natural part of shaping model output. Great job learning today. If this helped you feel clearer or more confident for your AI or ML interviews, tap like so more learners can find you. If you want simple guidance for every interview topic, subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. You can share your questions in the comments. I read them, and they help me choose what to teach next. And if you know someone preparing for interviews, feel free to share this with them. Keep going. You're improving with every step. I'm here to help you grow.